Alrighty, y'all, good morning, or whatever time you're watching this. It's a nice chilly 37 degrees with a decent wind. So obviously you see there's no wind here. I came here on purpose to get out of that wind. In open water it's pretty gnarly, but we're gonna put the trolling motor down. 10-pound braid, Shimano 3000 size reel, and a Nomad Seacore Inshore spin rod. It's a medium power fast action rod, 7.5 feet, and all the birds are waking up. We're gonna see if these trout are hungry. Oh, dang, that was a good one. There it is. Okay, first fish of the morning. I put on a slick lures in the Croaker color. Just try to cover some water. Man, they're so cold, he's not doing much. Not doing much, which I don't blame him. Pretty trout right there. They have to be 15 inches long. Oh yeah, he's a keeper. Sweet. Got our first speckled friend this morning. They only have to be 15 to 22. You're allowed 6 a person. He ate that slick lure, which I'll go into more detail on that here in just a bit. But pretty speckled trout. Let's throw them on ice. So this morning I am throwing, like I said, a slick lure by Pier Flats. This is a Croaker color, the full size, owner beast hook, 1/8 ounce with a loop knot and 20-pound fluoro. And I just tie a little uni to uni knot or double uni knot by 10-pound braid. It is cold, y'all. I can still not feel my fingers right now. Thankfully, Mossy Oak comes in clutch with some good, nice warm clothing. I should have brought the gloves out. Oh, dang. Well, that hit it. Hit it good. I'm an old Madscad, baby. Let's see what you are. A speck. So this morning was tough fishing. I only managed that one speckled trout. And so I waited till the sun came up. Wow, he's so cold. And the surface temp is now 57. And I'm throwing a Madscad by Nomad. This is a 78 size and the Suspending in the olive back color. Just got a nice speckled trout. He's going to go join our other one from this morning. I switch out the hooks. These come with singles, which are great for, you know, Spanish mackerel and catch and release. But when I'm speckled trout fishing and I want to keep them, especially this time of year, I switch out to some Gamakatsu extra wide gap trebles. Throw them in the cooler and see if there's any more hanging right here. All right, see if there's another one hanging over here. That was a nice little speck. There's another one. Oh, it came off. Let's see if I come back for it again. It's hard to see. I'm staring right into the glare. There it is. Oh, that's a good one. It's headed right into that docks too. That's a good fish. That might be a red. That might be a redfish. Or just a big trout. Wow, that's a good one. That's a good fish right there. Oh, don't go in that. It's gonna get me in that tree. Get out of that tree. There we go. That's a decent fish. What are you? Oh, that's a nice red. Yeah, buddy. Nice slot red. There we go. Almost lost him on that one. That lure out of his mouth. Boom. Y'all check out that 24-inch slot redfish. They only have to be 16 to 26 inches here in Alabama under a slot limit. You're allowed one oversized. But that's a perfect size redfish, especially on lighter tackle, inshore tackle. in these small bodies of water. The plan worked out great. That sun came up, and then these things came on the flats from the deeper edges. Wow. That one's going to go on ice as well and join our other ones. That little Nomad Madscad right there. I love that Madscad series by Nomad. There's a size for pretty much every species and bait that you're trying to imitate. This one's, like I said, is a 78 suspending. I took off the single hooks, put on size 4 Gamakatsu extra wide gap trebles. They're sharp, very sticky trebles. And you see, it handled that redfish just fine, and it works great for trout. Because I'm in a keeping fish kind of mood today. That's the good thing, is at wintertime you can sleep in if you want to, or go when if you work a morning shift and go in the afternoon, or if you just have a small period of time to fish for your lunch break in the winter, that's okay. It doesn't have to be super early in the morning or super late at night, unlike the summer where you want to get out there before the sun rises. There you are. Another fish. Oh. Such a good reaction strike bait. Is that a bass or a little trout? It's a little bass. Creek bass. Tells you we're in some real brackish water. All right, man. There you go. So anytime I get like a short strike and I've made a couple casts, I'll go and throw a little soft plastic on the bottom. Since it is a deeper hole and they were short striking the Madscad in this particular area, I got a bird of prey 1/8 ounce jig head and a DOA little shad tail 3-inch. A little bit more finesse. Oh, see, like that. And a lot of times you can get those ones that just short strike the other lure. Ooh, that sounds like the bottom of the creek. Always have a good follow-up lure. Third speckled trout of the day. All about average size. Pretty little things. Let's keep on fishing. There's another one. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big fish. What the heck? It's a good one right there. Man, causing some commotion. Yeah, that's a healthy speckled trout. Yes, buddy. That's a decent one. Let's measure that one. That one feels to be about 4 pounds. If it's over 20, I'm going to release it. All right, y'all, that's a 20-inch fish, a little bit over 20. So she's going to go back so she can make more bigger trout for us. Go on, big girl. Healthy. There you go. Get back down there and go make some more. And then I'll go record that. There's a website you can go be a part of. It's called releaseover20.org, and you can document all the fish that you've released over 20 inches. And you're legally allowed to keep one of those fish over slot, but I fish so much and we have plenty of meat so far that you can do your part and let the big breeders go. Now, like I said, you're legally allowed to keep one over 22 inches in Alabama, a speckled trout that is. And if it's feeding you and your family, hey, go do it. Keep it. I'm not saying not. I'm not saying don't. But if you fish like I do and just have so much fish in there, I like to practice some conservation. And once again, it's just my opinion on this type of fishing. That's why I let that 21-incher go. Because I would like to see more big trout and big redfish, big sheep's head in the future, instead of just at this moment. I like to keep a sustainable fishery, especially with all of us out here fishing. But that little thing's putting in work. It matches the hatch perfect and has a great reaction strike. Now that was worth launching a boat again to catch those fish. because this morning was a struggle. There you are. That's a good one. Just when I was having doubts of myself. Yes. That might be another 20-incher. Carefully, there we go. Yes. Let me wet my hands. There we go. Before you handle it, so you don't take their slime coating and scales off. You know, that's another good spec. But I am catching and releasing today. So we're going to take that hook off. I was just having doubts too, like thinking, where the heck are they today? That's a good one. Let's see what it measures. 18-inch fish, 18 and a half. Go back. Sweet. It don't hurt to release them if they're in good shape. Perfect ambush spot too. That's the size fish I'm looking for. Not those little 15-inchers, but those 18 to 20s. And they sit in these ambush spots, creek mouths, drop balls, sandbars, oyster bars, stuff like that, waiting for bait to get flushed out or flushed in during a flood tide. And then during a falling tide like we're going right now, they sit right there and just ambush prey. Oh, swiped at it again. There it is. Sometimes you can just let it sit there after they hit it, give it a twitch, let it sit there, and they'll come back for it. Ooh, if I boat flip that one, it might not stay on. That's another good one. I'm not even going to measure it because it's literally about the same size as the last one. But whoo, look how barely it was hooked. It swiped at it, missed it, so I twitched it and then paused it again and just let it sit there. And this bait is a suspending bait, and it came back and grabbed it. Sweet. We'll come back and catch it again when we're actually keeping some more, but that redfish from yesterday is going to feed us well, so it's your lucky day. What a nice one. Oh, swiped it. That was the coolest thing ever. I was not paying attention. That trout came and hit it 3 different times. Should have been paying attention to what I was doing. There it is. Got it. That's a good one. I mean, they all feel good, but this one feels especially good. Oh, see that jump? I have a nice speck. Oh yeah, that's a 20-incher all day. That's a 20-inch fish. That's a nice 20-inch speckled trout. Barely any spots on this side. What a nice one. We're gonna send that big old mama back on its merry way as well. That's a good fish there. Okay, there she goes. They're a little stunned in this real cold water. That was a pretty fish. There she goes. And there's a dead blue crab. That super cold water might have killed off some of these crabs in these shallower bodies of water, because that's a 3rd dead crab I've seen. So that was our 20-inch fish that we get to go and release over 20.org and record. It's kind of fun. There you are. Finally found one. I moved spots, obviously, to a beautiful, serene area. And I've been fishing for a couple hours without a bite, and I finally found the trout again. That's a pretty one. Yep, that would be a keeper. About an 18-inch fish. Gonna get those hooks out and get it back. All right, beautiful fish. Let's get you back. There you go. Alrighty, y'all, we are off the water. But I have my 9-inch sword flex fillet, and this is the redfish that I'm going to be cleaning. That's what I caught yesterday, but it's all in the same video. I gave all the trout away and released a bunch, but kept this beauty of a red. Man, look at that tail. It's the size of my hand. But we are going to fillet this out and keep it on the half shell, which means we're keeping the skin and the scales on it. If you want to, you can remove the scales, but cooking it on the half shell, whether you're baking it or grilling it, you can leave the scales on. The key though to filleting it is to angle your knife under these scales and then make your cut. Don't try to cut through the scales. See, once you angle your knife under there and get to the meat, you're not doing any sawing, and it's pretty simple to fillet after that. Now, I'm going to run that knife all the way down to the tail and all the way down just like that. Get those scales off the edge and then start filleting it off. And look at that pretty redfish meat. Once you get to the middle, so go up and over, back down, same thing. Go down that spine and start filleting out the other side. Once I get down to the other side, whoo, it's cold, I will cut that off. See? Now the rib cage, just kind of angle your knife up some, and you can get through those pin bones, and then up and down the rib cage. And I'll flip it around. See, you can cut through those pin bones and then down that rib cage. Sharp knife helps. There's a nice redfish fillet. Beautiful redfish. Good, nice, white and flaky fish. They eat a lot of crustaceans, crabs, shrimp. I've seen baby flounder in their stomachs. Redfish aren't afraid to eat anything, but they are phenomenal tasting. Now we're going to start on this side again. Once again, once more, get under those scales at an angle, and then you don't have to worry about sawing. See? You don't have to worry about sawing through those. Now my arm might get in the way on this point of view, but I'm trying to cut away from me. See? All the way down. And those scales will separate like a zipper. And that's its blood, not mine. And just repeat the same process again. Go to their spine. Go down and back over. Same thing for their rib cage. Cut through those pin bones and fillet down that rib cage. Pretty simple fish to clean. And there's the fillet. Now you can take this rib cage off and then cook that meat as well. And then you can peel it out of that rib cage. They have a thick collar that's delicious too. See that? A very thick collar or throat. That's really good. Our focus today is on the half shell, and that's all it is. I'll probably take that tail off. There you go. Same thing here. And that's it. That's literally all the steps there is to getting a redfish on the half shell. Is that not a beautiful baking platter of redfish on the half shell? We're going to do pretty simple stuff. I have the oven preheating to 375 degrees, and we're going to bake this Chef Paul style with a little bit of added touch. So we have the Chef Paul's redfish magic. You really don't have to add much. You don't have to add salt. You don't have to add pepper. Pretty much everything is in this. I have some melted butter, some lemon, and Parmesan cheese. Let's go ahead and baste and season our fish while the oven's preheating, and then we'll get it in there. Now my house was built in the 70s, so my lighting could be better, but we're gonna take our butter and just get a nice coating on that redfish. Melted butter always smells good. But you want that coating on there so your seasoning sticks and also it's going to brown and crisp up that meat pretty good. And I've got the skin and scale side down. That's why we're cooking it on the half shell. So get all that nice butter on there. I'm going to squeeze a half a lemon. Just get some of that lemon juice on there. It's going to cook in there. And if you don't like lemon, or if you don't like a certain ingredient, you can leave it out. But trust me, the culmination of flavors does really good that way. And now here goes our main ingredient. Be very generous with it. Coat that sucker up with that blackening season. There's a reason it's called blackening. Typically you do this in a skillet or on the grill, but today we're going to bake it, and you can't go wrong either way. So there's our blackening seasoning on there. And now the last thing I'm going to do is just a little bit of Parmesan. And this is fresh Parmesan, not like the Kraft stuff we like to put on spaghetti, but just some freshly grated Parmesan. And you don't have to go all crazy with it. Just a little bit there. And y'all, that is ready to go in the oven. I'll wait to put that in the oven. Blackened redfish magic, Parmesan, butter, lemon, and obviously redfish. Alright, the oven's preheated 375. It's time to put our redfish in. We're gonna bake this for 20 minutes. This is a thick fillet. If it was a thinner fillet, you can usually do about 10 to 15 minutes. Y'all, the redfish is ready. Woo-hoo-hoo, that is hot. Look at that redfish in there. Let me get something to handle it with. I have some mashed potatoes baking up there as well. I know y'all like to see these catch and cooks. I'm a fisherman first, but I always like to show you what you can do with a fresh catch. And look at that. Blackened Parmesan baked redfish. Put that on our trivet. Let that cool down. Our potatoes will be done, and then we'll get it done. Get to eating. Does that not look delicious though? Woo! Can't wait. I'm gonna fix a plate here, and if this redfish is cooked perfect, it should peel right off that skin. So make a incision in there. Oh yeah, it's not dried out at all. I'm gonna pull it apart just to show you. See that? It peels right off the skin. So this is a big portion of fish. And I'm gonna scrape it and see how that skin on the bottom protects it. We never flipped it. And there's our blackened redfish fillet, and look at that, how juicy that's going to be. Redfish can take it. It's such a nice mild fish. It can take this seasoning. Now I'm going to put some mashed potatoes on there, dress that up, and go and eat it. Well, let's give this a try. I cannot wait. Got some mashed potatoes, homemade mashed potatoes on the side, and then, oh wow, that flakes apart perfect. I can't wait to chase that. That is delicious. Perfectly cooked too. 20 minutes for this thick fish. If you have like a lower slot redfish, you could probably do 15. But that seasoning complements it perfect. The Parmesan cheese was a little add-on. You don't taste the lemon, but there's something, if you're a professional chef, you probably know more than I do. I don't claim to be professional in that, but it does work well when it's cooked into that meat with the butter. Let's taste it again. Get some of these homemade mashed potatoes, and I'm gonna go in and finish this meal. Bam. Here y'all go. There's enough for you. Enjoy. Yeah, it's a beautiful day out. Forecast lied in a good way, because it said it was supposed to pour rain today. It didn't, but I gotta go fix a wheel bearing on the trailer. It's always something. So, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I hadn't done a catch, clean, and cook in a while, and I know majority of y'all like it. Some of y'all may not like the cooking portion. It's a fishing channel, not a cooking channel, but hey, everyone's different, and I just like to share with you what you can do with your fresh caught fish if you do decide to keep some when you bring it back and enjoy your fresh Gulf catch. So we'll see you on the next one. All of our partners and sponsors are linked in the video description below. Smash that subscribe button, like, and comment. I want to thank the good Lord up above for everything he does for us, and we'll see you later.